So you started your journey as an interior designer and transitioned into the world of horses in the polo industry. Tell us a bit about your journey.
Well, it was interesting because when I was listening to Tracy's story, I can resonate with so much of that. Being the bogan redhead, true blue Fairfield girl, went to Fairfield High School. I was in year 10, we actually had the amalgamation of the boys and the girls, Fairfield High School. So when I was 18, I dyed my hair red, and I've been a redhead ever since. I'm 50, so I've been red for a long time.
Did you have the perm?
I had a terrible...
Yeah, I had the perm.
I had lots of terrible perms. Exactly. My dad, like Tracy's dad, was very inspirational. My mum left when I was 4 years old, and my father brought my sister and I up. And my dad was a feminist, you know, in the true sense of the word, you know. You know, we have first, second, third wave feminism. He's like the fourth wave. He is like so super cool. And so Dad taught me the fundamental value of you can do whatever you want. And, you know, that became ingrained in me. That's in my DNA. You know what? We can do whatever we want. So at no time did I ever think that there was a glass ceiling. And when I first came up against this glass ceiling, it was actually in the building industry. So I started off as a drafts person, and you know, I went to college, and you know, I got my first job, and it was in a all-male office. And so, what we're talking 32 years ago. So, you know, I was the only girl in the office, and of course, it was a big office, and they had lots of bathrooms to do. So, guess what? Being the only chick in the office, I got to do the bathrooms. I had to go and pick the tiles and pick the fittings, and it kind of worked out. I was pretty good at it. And so the men were really quite gentlemanly, and it was kind of a different genre of men as well. They were very caring, and they really looked after me, and as well as being sexist. But I did actually use that to my advantage. Because they were kind and sexist, I actually got more opportunity to run with things that were important to me. So I got to be the office interior designer. So I was about 21 or 2, so I started then to run major jobs. So I thought, oh, you know, I better go and actually get a bit of a qualification behind me. So I did that. But in the meantime, I ended up running huge jobs, and the guys in the office taught me how to do construction documentation and construction contracts. So by the time I finished with them, I got headhunted, and I went to work for Rice Daubeny, and I headed up quite a big design team there. I then went over to worked at Enmore Design School before it became the uni, and I taught lighting design and documentation there. And that was a really interesting time in my life because I just met my husband, Pete. We had absolutely no money. Like, we were so poor. We had 1 and 2 cent pieces trying to get milk money. And Pete came across from Western Australia to start up a business here, and he had a blue Porsche. So
no money, but you had a Porsche.
Yeah, we had no money, but he had a blue Porsche. And he'd come at night to pick me up from college where I was teaching. And he'd drive up in the Porsche, and all the students would go, oh, wow, we're going to make lots of money being an interior designer. Well, no, you don't. But that was really good fun. So I think that kind of changed a little bit when I met Pete. Peter just came over from Western Australia, and he wanted to start up a business here in Sydney. So I was absolutely fed up with working in a large architecture office, and it wasn't me. It was hard work, and that was really not so much, I guess, the glass ceiling, but it was demoralising because it was taking away your individuality. You had to be part of the gang, the crowd, and it was part of the look, and that really wasn't who I was.